Welcome to the Mastering QuickBooks series. My name is Kristen Shelton, and I will be your financial coach for today. Here is a brief bio for those of you who don't know me. I am a licensed CPA and a certified advanced QuickBooks Pro advisor. I've been coaching small businesses on how to manage their books for about 14 years now. I have a series of books called Mastering QuickBooks that have all been Amazon bestsellers, and now it's in its sixth edition. Mastering QuickBooks 2025 is now available for purchase on Amazon.com. As part of our online bonus content for my latest book, I have created a series of how-to videos, just like this one, that coincide with online bonus chapters. So to access the online bonus content, all the resources and templates and other goodies we have for you, be sure to click the link below to purchase a copy of Mastering QuickBooks 2025 at Amazon.com. In our Report Center overview demo, I showed you how to navigate the Report Center and even discussed all the reports that you have at your fingertips in QuickBooks Online. In today's demo, we are going to talk about specifically the business overview reports and cash flow reports in QuickBooks Online. So that will entail going through and discussing the profit and loss statement, as well as the balance sheet reports. We're going to also discuss the statement of cash flows. I'm going to show you how to create a budget in QuickBooks Online, as well as how to use a cash flow planner tool that's really nifty. And then we'll wrap up with a brief discussion about the audit log report. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive into QuickBooks. For today's demonstration, I am going to be using a sample company called Craig's Design and Landscaping Services. This is what's called a QuickBooks Online Test Drive account. Anyone can access it. All you have to do is Google QuickBooks Online Test Drive, and then you'll be able to access a sample file just like this that you could play around in just to get an idea of how QuickBooks Online works. All right, so we're going to head over to the Reports Center, which is located on the left navigation bar here in QuickBooks. And the first report that we're going to talk about in the Business Overview reporting group is the profit and loss statement. So one thing that you're going to notice is there are several versions of this report. The regular profit and loss statement is listed here. Then we've got a profit and loss by customer, profit and loss by month, profit and loss by tag group, profit and loss comparison, detail, etc., etc. You get the point. So several different versions which come in handy. I'm going to stick with the regular profit and loss just to keep it simple. So your profit and loss statement, many of you have probably heard it referred to as the income statement, is going to tell you the profitability for your particular business as of a point in time. So this particular company that we're looking at, the profit and loss here for Craig's Design and Landscaping, the default time period is this year to date. So if I were to just say, this year to date goes through the current week, but if I were to just say this year, and you can change the accounting method if you'd like. I'm going to leave it at accrual and click Run Report. And so this basically will show you a summary of all of the items that are considered income for your business. They'll be listed here, and then you'll have a total. And then if you scroll down, you'll also see all of your expenses listed here in their different groupings, and then you'll have a total for expenses. And by the time you get to the bottom of the report, The math here is that your income minus all your expenses will either be a profit, which is a positive number in this case, 1,642.46, or it would be a loss, and this number would be negative if your expenses were greater than your income. Okay, so that's what a profit and loss report is going to tell you. This is definitely going to be one of the reports that your tax preparer will need in terms of being able to prepare your tax return. All right, so let's hop on over to the balance sheet report. Balance sheet report is located within the business overview category as well. And we've got several different reports here: the balance sheet comparison, detail, summary. And so again, I'm just going to stick with the regular balance sheet report just to keep things simple. On this report, you're going to look at this to determine really the net worth of your business. So you'll find your assets listed here. So like all of your bank accounts, your accounts receivable, which is money your customers owe you. You're going to find all of those items listed along with a total. And then you're also going to have your fixed assets here. So like if you own a truck or you've purchased some type of furniture or equipment for your business, those items would be listed here. So we've got our total assets. And then below that, all of your obligations, right, to different creditors. So for example, your accounts payable balance, that's how much you owe your suppliers or your vendors. Any credit card balances you have will be listed here. And any other payments that you might owe, loans, notes payable, and that sort of thing. So you've got your total liabilities here. And then we've got the equity section here. And so total equity is listed here. So we've got three totals: your assets, your liabilities, and your equity. So the way this report works is your assets, which on this particular report, 23,436.29, this should equal your total liabilities and equity, which it does, 23,436.29. And so this report, again, you want to make sure that each time you've reconciled your bank accounts, for example, that the balance here on that balance sheet report matches what your bank account statement says for your checking account, for your savings accounts, as well as your credit card accounts. And so, yeah, we've got one credit card here. And so this report is key, especially during the end of the year when you're getting ready to close your books. All of those accounts should be reconciled and balances should match those statements. In Chapter 9 of Mastering QuickBooks 2025, I cover closing the books. I provide you with a checklist of items that you need to do to prepare to close your books so that your tax preparer can use them to prepare your tax return. Okay, so that is the balance sheet. And keep in mind, these reports can be shared with individuals directly from QuickBooks by emailing them. You can print a hard copy, or you can export any of these reports to Excel or PDF. So we'll click the Back to Report List button, and let's head over to the Statement of Cash Flows, which is also in the Business Overview section. This report you may not be as familiar with, but this basically shows you where your cash is or has been for a particular time period. It's divided up into three main categories. We've got what's called operating activities. These are typically activities that are day-to-day, right, for the business. We've got things called investing activities. So if you were to go out and purchase a vehicle for your business, that will be considered an investment. And so those items would be listed in this group. And then financing. So let's say you did purchase a vehicle, but you had to finance it. The loan or note payable for that vehicle would be indicated or categorized as a financing activity. So this particular report, statement of cash flows, provides you with if your cash went up or down for the particular period. So in this case, cash went up because the number is positive, not negative. And then cash at the end of the period is this $4,063.52. So this is a report that's good to review and gives you an idea of where your cash for the business has been put to use, how you've used your cash within the business, I should say. Awesome. So let's switch gears. And now we're going to talk about budgeting. Now, keep in mind if you're brand new to managing a business, budgeting may not be top of mind for you, but it definitely should be a goal of yours in the future. And once you get down the road and you start needing to expand your business, or you don't feel you have like a good handle on what you're spending, then you definitely want to start creating a budget. And QuickBooks makes it super easy to create a budget. So within QuickBooks, if you click on this, there's a gear icon up here in the right corner. Actually, going to stop sharing my video just because I want to make sure you can see this. So there's a gear icon here in the upper right corner. If you click on that, there is an option for budgeting right below the tools column. So you want to click on budgeting, and then you can either create a budget from scratch directly in QuickBooks, or you can import a budget from an Excel or CSV file. So it's really super easy to create a budget. First of all, you can tell QuickBooks if you want to create a budget, a profit and loss budget or a balance sheet budget. Profit and loss is the most popular. And then you can determine the time period that you want to create the budget for. So let's say we'll create a budget for next year because we're already towards the end of this year. You have the option to select the format. So a consolidated budget is literally like an organizational level budget, which means for the entire company, right? Whereas a subdivided budget would be based on if you just wanted to create a budget for a particular location or a particular department or a customer, right? So it would be subdivided. You have the option to, instead of starting from scratch, you can actually go back and say, hey, QuickBooks, pull in the actuals for, one of these years. So you could either do the current year or it lets you go back as far as 4 years to pull in actuals to start with and then tweak, right, for your particular budget. So let's say we want to go ahead and say, hey, let's start with the current year and let's create that budget and then we can make changes to it. So then you want to go ahead and click the next button, which is in the lower right corner, and it's going to prepare the budget. It's going to look very similar to an Excel spreadsheet. So since we said we wanted it to pull in the actuals from this year, we've got numbers in here already. If I had not made that selection, then this template would just have a bunch of zeros and you can go in and enter your budget totals. So the way it works is, let's say I wanted to go in and create a budget for bank charges. And let's say I'm going to budget $1,000, or let's say $1,200 for the year for this. So I type in 1,200 and then I click this little blue icon to the right, and it will split that number or divide that number by 12. And so it'll put in the amount for each month automatically for me. And so that's how you would budget any of these items from scratch. Let's say commissions and fees. I wanted to say that I'm going to make $6,000 for the year for that. And I click the blue icon and it splits that number for me as well. You can also just go directly in here if maybe some of these months you feel like It's not going to be even. You can click in the actual field and change these numbers as you see fit. Okay. So once you've got this all set up the way you want it to, you can click the Save button, and it's indicated in the lower right corner. And then you want to go ahead and click the green arrow to the right of the Save button and click Save and Close. And it will take you to the budgeting center where you'll see all the budgets that you've created so far. Okay. And so you can manage your budgets from this page as you see fit. The other thing that you can do is run budget reports. So we've got budget to actual reports, we've got a budget overview reports. It allows you to duplicate a budget, or you can even delete from this page as well. So lots of different things you can do. You can also watch this video that they have here, which shows you how to import budgets. If you've already got a budget in a Excel spreadsheet, you can actually simply import it into QuickBooks and work with it from there. The next topic I want to talk about is cash flow planning. On the left menu bar, if you click on Dashboards and go to Planner, this will open up a tool called Cash Flow Planner. What's nice about the Cash Flow Planner is it allows you to plan for what your cash flow is going to look like in the future. We've got a tab here that says money in and money out. And so the multicolored bars, the green one shows you the money that has come in. And then the turquoise bar shows you the money that has gone out. And then the difference between those is going to either be a positive or a negative number. And so you're able to actually come in here and add items into this planner. Now, keep in mind, when you're in this cash flow planner, whatever items you add here do not affect your books at all. This is literally a projection tool to help you forecast your cash. So let's say you're anticipating receiving an invoice or a bill from a customer. You can add it here, right, to see how that would affect your cash flow. Same with if you're expecting a payment from a customer, you can click the add item here, and then it will project what your cash flow is going to look like so that you can make informed decisions about your business. And so this is one of the really nice tools I think that most small business owners really need, because cash flow is usually really tight for a small business owner. Last, but certainly not least, I'd love to share with you the audit log report. So going back to the report center within the business overview category is an audit log report. This report is fantastic because it shows every single change that has been made and who has made the changes within your QuickBooks file. And so this is a great report to review if there's ever an issue. If you're wondering if someone worked in QuickBooks, on a specific day, or days, you can actually come in here and review and see what day, what time they logged in, and any changes that they made to QuickBooks. This report can be exported to a CSV, or you can actually print a hard copy of this report. So I hope that that gives you a really, really good insight into all of the reports that are available just from an overall business standpoint. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Business Overview and Cash Flow Reports video demo. The link to the detailed chapter for this topic and other great content can be found below. And make sure you check out our other demo videos. One is on the Report Center overview. we've got customer sales reports, and we've got the vendor and expense reports. Connect with me on social media using these handles. And last but certainly not least, please leave a comment. I would love to get your feedback on this video, as well as any suggestions you have about other topics you'd love to see a demo for. Thanks so much and take care.